About 20 years ago, I first heard what we would now call a podcast that this guy was creating and posting to his website. And it was all about creating holograms at home with those keychain or pen laser pointers that were just becoming popular. I think you could shoot them through a prism onto regular film or something. I don't quite remember. But I just remember being amazed that this guy was creating content about something that he loved, and I knew this was going to be the future of the internet. I was also amazed that this guy had fans. Like, people wrote into him and wanted to ask questions, and I wrote into him and asked questions. And I asked him, what kind of equipment he was using, since I was studying theater, tech theater, and I was, an equipment head. Still am an equipment head. And I remember the guy pricing out the equipment that this guy was using to create his podcast, and it was, I don't know, thousands of dollars maybe. I'm thinking, oh man, I can't afford that. I'm in college. And then I tried creating something very similar, just using one of those cheap headsets that they used to give you with a computer, and there was just a lot of background buzz, and it was horrible. And I realized that I wasn't an expert on anything that I could talk about, and so I just gave up. But that desire to create never really went away, which is maybe one reason why I went into web development. Every day I get to create websites and create new features and new things for people to use. But I still wanted to do something quote-unquote creative. And a few years ago, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years ago now, a friend of mine, Eric, and I started doing a podcast about tech and about tablets. Started off mostly about tablets, and then we switched to general tech. And I loved it because every week we got to sit down and we got to create 2 or 3 hours of content for people. And granted, we didn't have a huge audience, but it was just still fun. I was giving back to the community that I loved and that I consumed from. And I think that's the big thing for me, is if you're going to consume media on the internet, you should create media on the internet. You should feed back into the system, and somewhere along the way, whatever crazy thing you want to talk about, there's somebody out there that is looking to listen to or watch whatever you create. Jump forward to present day 2015. I haven't had cable in over 5 years. Majority of media I consume is either in the form of podcasts or YouTube videos. So I just want to encourage everybody to create. Man, I watched a 13-part YouTube series on a guy putting a Corvette V8 into a Mazda Miata. I don't even like Mazda Miatas. But it was fascinating because this guy had a passion for it. He was super excited about it, and he went out and did it. I watched another YouTube channel called Flight Test, where these guys build and fly remote control airplanes, and they've gone so far as to turn the whole thing into a business where they sell RC plane kits and swag and all that other kind of stuff. And I watch their videos constantly. I have no desire to ever own an RC airplane. I love airplanes. I really wanted an RC airplane when I was a kid. But the other thing is, these guys are so passionate about it that it's just fun to watch them talk about it and to share their passion with other people who want to get into the hobby. So I just want to encourage everyone to go out and create something, whether it's a blog post or a video or a song or whatever it is that you're into. Create something and share it with the world on the internet. And admittedly, part of that is super self-serving because I want content to enjoy for years and years to come. So anyway, just go out and do it. Right here, a horn honk when I'm riding my scooter. I just assume that they're honking at me, because the likelihood that I've done something stupid is pretty high. And by stupid, I mean left something sitting on my seat, left the pocket open, or if I had my backpack on, left something unzipped. One time when I was in high school, a car had one of these stickers in the back that said, it was like a volleyball sticker. It said like Sally volleyball or whatever. And the car had its windows rolled down. So it was just me and like 3 of my buddies from high school. We rolled up next to it and just shouted, "Tell Sally we said thanks for the good time last night," or something like that. Silly kids. So now whenever I see those, I feel like I should do something like that, but then I remember that I'm almost 40 years old, and that'd be creepy and ridiculous.